A quick fan question. With all the plays you're getting on MySpace, with all the fan inquiries I'm sure you're getting, you're essentially a boy band, but a really fucking heavy one.
Yeah.
To what extent do you, I guess, recognize the crazed female fan behavior? Is it Beatlemania? Is it Bring Me the Horizon mania?
I don't know. It's weird because when we went on Warped Tour, we got one of the shows we got quite a few insane receptions off the crowd, and people were saying it's like Beatlemania again. But it's cool to hear it. But we didn't start as a boy band. Do you know what I mean? We were all just kids from a town who got to know each other, and no one put us together. We did it all ourselves, and people say we care about image and stuff, but it's I reckon we don't. None of us tell each other what to wear, or no one says you should look like this. It's say if a person looks at our band and says oh, they're shit, look at what they look like. Surely they care more about image than us, because we don't look at a fan who's got long hair and a beard and go oh, I don't want him to be a fan. You do you know what I mean? It's it's more that crowds care about what we look like for some reason, so surely they care more about image than us, because we've just looked I don't know, everyone tries to look presentable or whatever. It's just a choice of a haircut, do you know what I mean? Or a choice of clothing that manages to offend people. It's pretty funny, to be honest, though, that by having a fringe you can offend so many people, and it's all it is hair. Do you know what I mean? And no one knows what you're like as a person, or what your influences are, and that you're just trying to make music to entertain people, and I don't know, it's weird that people care that much. So, but it's weird that girls get into it, but I don't know, a lot of people slag off that girls they don't like that girls come to shows, and I know why, but at the same time I think it's cool that we're opening up, we're kind of opening up them to more stuff, because they're not just going to be into us at the end of the day, they're going to get into other stuff by listening. So at least they're coming to shows and paying for bands to live, and you won't be able to tour if these kids didn't turn up. So surely it's not a bad thing that kids want to come and watch a band, and even the support acts and bands that don't like them sort of people, they're still being watched by them at the end of the day, and they're still getting money off them for tickets. So they can moan about them, but at the end of the day they're supplying them to live. So I don't know, I think it's cool that girls like it, if they really like it, then, do you know what I mean? So you're getting different people, because when I used to go to shows, well, when we have time and I go to shows and stuff, it's I used to go not with my girlfriend, because it's your time to lose it, do you know what I mean? Shout it and get into it and mosh or whatever, and it's you don't exactly want a girl there who you watching you act like an idiot. So it's but nowadays it's kids meet each other and hang out at shows, so I suppose it's the thing you were on about earlier, in England there's nothing to do, whereas now at least they've got somewhere to go, and they all gather and go to shows, and they might not there's certain places where kids will go every week, no matter who's playing, but surely that's a good thing. They're checking out bands every week, and it's giving them something to do rather than sit at home and not do anything. At least they're turning up and gonna watch whoever's playing.
Well, for a million bands out there, playing every day and recording and performing, what are some of the good moves you guys made to become who you became?
I think we just happened at the right time. We met at the right time, and we got into the same sort of music and wrote a CD that just seemed to There were a time when because this sort of music's been bigger in America than it has in England for a long time. So as just as as metalcore or whatever you want to call it, hardcore, were getting more mainstream in England, we came out. So we were lucky
You were the wave.
We kind of we were on the wave when it came, and we've just we're still riding it. Do you know what I mean? And then we've just managed, because we've toured and it's worked as our stuff. We've just managed to build it up, and stuff internet helps a lot, because we just see, I know people think it's gay or whatever, but MySpace has helped, because it's people get to listen to you and they don't have to go out and buy a CD, whereas they can hear you and see what they think before they buy a CD and stuff, and it's so easy to hear new bands nowadays. Whereas if you didn't have MySpace, how's someone going to find your website if they've never heard of you? Do you know what I mean? Whereas you can go on MySpace and you get linked off other bands to other bands and find out. So I think we just we came out at the right time. We kind of released the right CD for that time, then we released like a CD that, I don't know, we're just like, I think because new CD is kind of, I think because we've grown up and we've written that new CD and it's changed the style a bit. I think we've got out of, there's like a whole bunch of bands doing the metalcore, like similar sounding, like, and we've kind of like got out of that sound a bit, which is like lucky. So we've like, hopefully like, if that scene drops off, we're not gonna be in that and stuff, and like, so I think that's like what we're thinking, like, we just wanted to write something and it happens to like not fit in as much as it used to, so hopefully we'll get like his own fan base rather than like, I don't know, yeah, so
Yeah.
pretty much that.
Nobody can break the future.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll do well from there.
You enjoying the ride while you're at it. Like
Yeah,
the wave.
might as well.
There are some rumors that either your parents are like really involved in your careers or something.
Well, like Ollie's mum, the singer, like we never knew. We never knew like anything about like money. Like none of us like really knew anything about business or anything like that. So when we started selling merch, we didn't really like know how to handle it. And she helped us out by like, she sorted us out accounts and stuff, because we started selling like quite enough of merch to like need accounts, and she sorted us out with like accounts and like helping us like talk to people like banks and stuff about sorting his money out and like sorting ourselves out so we were getting paid and or whatever, and like she's just helped in a lot. Like, and other parents, like when we first started we were only 16, and in England like we weren't old enough to drive and we weren't old enough to rent a van, so we needed, as parents used to drive us to shows, so we'd all go in like one parent would drive us in a car and we'd have like his guitars and just turn up, they'd watch and then drive us home at the end of the night, and it's like, it's pretty funny, but without that we wouldn't have got around, because yeah, so they've helped a lot in what we're doing, and they all back it and they all supported us when like, I suppose some parents could have not supported it because we weren't doing like what were like technically correct. We weren't going to college, we weren't like going to university and stuff and learning. We were doing like something that's, I don't know, it could have gone either way. It could have gone like terrible or good, and it's happened to go good, so yeah.
I guess you were all kind of good kids. What message could you give to kids out there giving parents a hard time?
I don't know. I don't think we were necessarily good kids. It's just we had a, I don't know, we just got on with, we all get on with his parents, which is lucky, and like, I don't know. I don't know at all, because like, just think of both sides of the argument, you know what I mean? Like, I've had to do it before with my parents, like, you got to think of their side, like, when they're on about your future or whatever, you got to think, like, where do I want to be? Well, like, because our world is, you do need money, do you know what I mean, eventually, so you got to think about that at the end of the day. It could be fun, but if you're going to end up with no money when you need money, it's not going to help anyone, so, yeah, think about what your parents say. But school doesn't matter that much. You can fail at school and still do well with your life, so if you're thick, it doesn't matter.
Well, I got you.
Any shout outs?
No, I don't know what to say.
Okay.
Nah,
Thank
so.
you.
Thanks so much.